Welcome to Where There's Wheels.
There's a play.
I'm Ian, your main complexity casual gamer.
I'm Stacey. I'm your non-gamer gamer.
And today we are continuing our series of ranking the collection, this time for KTBG, or Kids Table Board Gaming. Kids Table Board Gaming has become a huge part of our gaming. We currently own 9 of their games, and we have access to another one, which we'll talk about as well. And we are going to put in our rankings, and we'll tell you about which one that when we run these down through the board game club at school that I do run. KTBG did donate games to that club, so we're very, very grateful for that. And we have received at least one of these games was a review copy that's sent to us. So today we're going to quickly run through just the quick synopsis of all 10 games and then tell you what our rankings are. And yeah, go from there and see kind of what our overall rankings are. So first, and we're doing this in year of release as best we can tell. So the first one is Food Fighters. Food Fighters is a 2-player food-themed battle game where one person takes on the role of vegetables and one person takes on the role of meat, and you go head-to-head in a 3x3 grid trying to eliminate at least one of a certain fruit or vegetable or meat in the other person's things. You can get beans, which is your currency. You can attack only adjacent foes. You can swap positions in your grid. You can get other abilities and purchase other things that allow you to attack differently or defend yourself. And you can have some other different special powers. There's also 2 expansions for this that we have. The sweets and the salty, which add just different types of food. So that is Food Fighters.
And then next is Haunt the House. In Haunt the House, this is a family-friendly game where players take on the roles of spirits trying to scare away ghost hunters from an old manor. Each ghost haunts different rooms. Timing scares just right to maximize spooky points. Gameplay in this is pretty smooth, I would say. It's intuitive, and it is featuring simple movement choices by mixing memory with just enough strategy and a little bit of push your luck in there as well.
Yeah, that is the one that we have access to through the board game club I run. That this was one of the games they donated to my board game club. But I think that if we did not have access to it, it would be in our collection.
Oh, definitely.
All right. The next one is Wreck Raiders. Wreck Raiders is a light family game where you are placing your meeples around. It has some positive interaction because when you place something on a location that is next to someone, you bump them, but it may bump to the beach. You are gaining different, your divers that are diving some wrecks. And what you are trying to do is you're trying to get the best treasures into a couple different areas. You're trying to do some set collection. You're also trying to put them into your vault, and you're trying to put things in a certain order on some different pedestals. And you, if you go next to somebody, not only do you get the reward, but the person next to you gets the reward. So there's some good positive player interaction. So this one has a lot of different things going on. You can also build an aquarium and get some extra points that way. So that one is Wreck Raiders.
I like that one. Okay, and the next one on top of my stack here is Fossilis. In Fossilis, you are playing as rival paleontologists. So you are Ross from Friends, if you're familiar with that reference. And what? And players are salvaging, they're diving, or
no, Wreck Raiders are diving.
Sorry, I am still talking about Wreck Raiders. But you are paleontologist, and you are digging to find bones in a dig site where you are using your, what are they called?
Your chisels.
Yes, your chisels.
And tweezers.
And your tweezers to get the bones out of the dig site, and you're moving the stones around so that you can get easier access to those dig sites as well. And you're trying to get the bones out so that you can create full dinosaurs by using the cards that are across the top and trying to get the most points by doing that. This is a hand management and a set collection game, and the mechanics make it kind of in a tactile way. And you are
It has some
trying.
really nice pieces. The
Yeah,
tiles are really nice and junky, and all the dinosaur bones are really cool.
yeah, it's very cool. If you love dinosaurs, Fossilis is the way to go.
Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is Power Plants. This one is one that have only played solo. Stacy has not played this one.
Mm-mm.
This is a tile laying game where you are playing as competing wizards, cultivating a magical garden, and you're placing these hexagonal plant tiles that are actually kind of curved, wavy on the side, so they're not completely straight, so they're kind of cool shapes. And on your turn, you're going to place a tile from your hand, and you're going to either trigger the sprout ability or the weaker grow ability, which gives you some different actions and and you can place some things on some different tiles. You're going to plant sprites to control your patches, gather gems, and use powers to disrupt opponents or bolster your own presence. It also has an area control element to it because whoever has the most things in a certain area of the same plant type gets some different powers and some different abilities and some different points. So this is power plant. So we do have 10 total games. I will have a 10 ranking. Stacy will have 9. So this one will only be on my ranking.
Yes,
But we'll still take it into account sort of when we do our overall rankings.
yes, we will, even though I've not played it. The next one on top of my pile here is, ooh, that's a heavy one,
Yeah.
is Creature Comforts. Creature Comforts is set in the land of Maple Valley, and you are a woodland critter, and you are gathering resources for one of the upcoming seasons. The seasons will change throughout the game, and as you collect the resources, you are like getting your home improvements to complete the cards that you have in front of you. And each turn begins by rolling your family dice. That's what's unique, I think, about the Creature Comforts game is that you've got your family dice, and then you've got the what do they call them?
The village
The
dice. The
village
village
dice.
dice.
Thank you, the village dice, and you are trying to place the requirements that you're on the board that you're with those dice that you're going to need to craft your comforts for the upcoming seasons. You need to spend your resources and your tokens to build your civilization. Um, I like this game as well, but I'm not. Anyway, you get your lesson learned if you can't complete your resources for that turn, and basically you're preparing for winter.
Yeah. All right. It's a good one. This was the game that brought us in, that introduced us to KTBG. This was the first game I ever kickstarted, and we've been kind of obsessed with KTBG ever since.
Look at that cover. How can you not
Yeah.
be? Oh,
Okay, the
I
next
love
one
them.
is a small little dice game all about making food and dicing your vegetables and in diced veggies. It is a kind of a fast-paced game where you are using this cleaver to dice out vegetables. Each colored dice is a different vegetable. You can only take up to 10 total pips of dice at a time and you can only have 8 total dice in your hand at the end of your turn. You are using the dice for the numbers as well as the types of vegetables to make ingredients. You can also hype those ingredient or those recipes. You can hype those recipes up different ways. Someone might say use only the number 5 or have only these numbers in it, or you have to discard something else in order to play this, and you get some extra hype for it, so you can score those even higher. I mean, we both really enjoy this one.
Mm-hmm.
Won't talk too much about that right now, but
Mm-mm.
that is Diced Veggies. It's a really fun little game. It's come with this really cool little wooden cleaver.
So the last game that I talked about was Creature Comforts, and that was set in the world of Maple Valley. Well, the next game that I'm going to talk about is Maple Valley. Maple Valley is similar to Creature Comforts, where you are collecting your resources to get ready for an upcoming festival, and you're the kids that are getting ready for the festival. And so, is what you're going to do is I'm talking way too fast. I don't know why I'm
I
talking
don't know.
so fast. But you're trying to go through the land that forks into different areas. As you're forking, you're climbing, you're digging, you're swimming to get through. You're gathering your friends together so that you can gather resources to get ready for the festival. For the trying to gather food, music, What else?
Different activities and different things. And
Different activities for it. And it's similar where you're trying to get your resources together with the cards, and you're also drawing friends, and it's a little bit of a set collection as well.
yeah, the big difference in this one is it's a worker movement. You're using your cards and your starting card, their friends, to move along different paths that they can only move on certain paths, and then you're collecting stuff as you go on. So whereas Creature Comforts is a dice slash worker placement, this is a worker movement using the paths that the cards can move along.
Yep.
So that's like the big difference. The base of the two games are very similar, and I think I always thought it was kind of funny how it's Creature Comforts came first, but then this is Creature Comforts Maple Valley. They both take place in Maple Valley. There's a third game coming out. Well, going to be hitting Kickstarter.
Is it a
soon.
spoiler?
No, it's gonna be it's announced. Actually, it's being demoed. It's at Gen Con right now.
Or Gen Con,
It's at Gen Con right now being demoed. It's gonna probably hit Kickstarter later this year. It's called Creature Comforts River Market. So we're very excited for that one. Last one I'm going to talk about here, and actually these next two we're going to talk about came out the same time. They were kickstarted at the same time, and Stacey's last one is the add-on part. So I'll talk about Maki Master here. And we just noticed our camera is frozen, so let me reach here.
It should keep going on your end.
It was still going on your end, but we couldn't see what was going on. So we're going to talk about Maki Master here real quick. And with Maki Master, it is a tile laying game where you're trying to make patterns to make the best sushi rolls. And this is a remake of a game called Wasabi. And you are sushi chefs, and you're competing to assemble the best rolls under time and space constraints. So you have a certain amount of space that you actually have to place your tiles on. Every turn you place one down, and if you make a roll, you say it what it is. You can get extra bonuses if it's in the right order. You draw new ones, and I mean, this is a really fun. It's card drafting because you're also drafting from different. When you make one, you get to draft another recipe that either needs 2, 3, 4, or 5 ingredients. I think it is. No, 2, 3, or 4. 2, 3, 4, or 5 ingredients because the 2 is always in order, so you don't get the bonus. So if you have one that has 3, 4, 5 ingredients and they're in the right order, and they can kind of go along a curve if you have some bonuses, so you've got some extra cards that you could get some special abilities with as well. It is very strategic, trying to place things down. Has a really good solo mode as well. That is Maki Master.
And the only small box that I have that I'm going to be talking about is Cafe Barris. In Cafe Barris, you are a I can't say that word, Cafe Barris, and you're opening a coffee shop or a cafe, and on your turn, you're trying to stock and serve drinks and treats, and you're trying to decorate your cafe, and you're trying to attract regular customers to your cafe. You're trying to earn loyalty points, and the goal is to build the most successful cafe with strategic decisions, planning the menu, getting your decor just right, and you have to have the right timing in this one. I love this one. It's for 2 to 4 players, and it's a cafe management gameplay.
Multi-use cards.
Yes,
multi-use cards. Either to make the food, serve, or to increase or to make your cafe better.
Yeah, aren't they cute? Oh my gosh.
Yep. All right, so as we go into the rankings, I am going to rank all 10 games, but when we talk about our overall rankings at the end, I'm only going to talk about the 9 because power plants would be kind of hard to put in there anywhere. So I'm keeping track of where we're ranking things, and I am going to say where power plants falls in my list. But when we do the top 9 combined, we are going to I will kind of take that out when I'm doing the calculations. Whereas with our Ticket to Ride games, we were definitely thinking about culling. None of these, as of right now, are getting culled. At some point, who knows? Our game collection is getting big. We may need to, but we'll see. All right,
they fit under the bed just fine.
So let me start with my 10 and go into my 9, and then you do your 9 because I've got an extra one than you. So my number 10, and even though, I mean, first of all, all 10 of these games are really fun.
Mm-hmm.
My number 10, I just don't think I can put it any higher. Number 10 is Food Fighters. Small little game, really fun. I mean, it's a really fun, quick head to head, but I just don't know if I can put it above the other ones that have a little bit more strategy to them than me. So my number 10 overall is Food Fighters. I do really enjoy this one, and I like having the options, and I like playing this with the kids at school because I do have a copy of this at school as well. But yeah, I just didn't think I could really put this above number 10. Okay, so that was my number 10.
Okay.
Um,
Now I have to look at my list.
which will, and then my number 9. So my number 9 is, hand me this, please, is Fossilis. Now, I think this falls down here for a couple reasons. I really like the idea of this game. And I think the idea of this game and how and the mechanics are really cool. We've only got it to the table a couple times, and every time we've gotten it to the table, we were tired.
The
And
conditions were
the
not.
conditions were not great. So I
Yeah.
think this one has the possibility to move up at some point. Um, so like the experience of playing and really understanding what we're doing, and just like we were just like I don't know why, but both times we ended up getting this out, or every time we've gotten this out, we've been tired. Like so, the conditions of playing the game just weren't ideal, and so it kind of drops the experience and the overall game compared to some of the other ones. And it also has made it a little harder to want to get back out because the conditions and stuff were not great, and it was just like So whereas the other ones we played them and we're like, oh, we love this game and we want to get it out more. It's made it really tough to get this one back out, even when the conditions and everything are just perfect and we're like completely wide awake. So number 9 for me is Fossilis. So those two will count like number 9 and number 8 in the rank over when we do the overall
Okay.
rankings. Okay, your number 9.
So my number 9 is also Fossilis. For the same reasons. It's kind of like when you watch a movie when you're tired and then you just don't enjoy it that much, but then you go back and you watch the movie again, you're like, oh, I missed that. Oh, I missed that. This is way better than I remember. I think that's going to be the same with Fossilis. I think that if we play it when we're awake and we don't have to keep double backing and
Checking what we're
remembering,
doing,
yeah, checking
and
what we're doing, I think it's going to be a much more enjoyable game.
if we get played a couple times on a
Yeah.
weekend or something, where yeah,
Yeah, but we're
I
so
agree.
tired when we play it. We're like, okay. It was hard to get through. But then once you went back and played it, I enjoyed it the second time more than the first time, and I understood it more because I was more awake. So, for those reasons, I did it at number 9. I think if we played it more, I would enjoy it more.
Okay, all right. So that one's been on both ours. Let's just move it out of the way here. All right, my number 8 is PowerPoints. So this
Oh.
is the my one that I play solo only. That's one of the reasons I think it's a little bit lower. I've only played it a few times. I do really like the mechanics of it, and I like the area control of it, and the solo mode is really good. I just haven't played it enough to move it ahead of some of these other games that I've played a lot more. And I would like to play it once with Stacey just to see how she likes it and stuff, and to see how like it is going against somebody else instead of the AI. But yeah, power plays. I really like this one. It's got a really cool area control. Like I said, whoever has the most of a certain area of plants at the end is has gets some points. And I really like the idea of when you play a tile and you place it down, you get two different abilities that you might be able to do. One's a little stronger, one's a little weaker, but then you're placing out other little sprites. So power plants is my number 8.
Okay. So my number 8 is one that Ian's already talked about, and that is Food Fighters. Now I do enjoy Food Fighters. I really am not a very good strategic player, and that's so. What kind of this is about? Because you lined up all of your cards head to head, and you have to plan on shooting your beans across, or earning your beans and shooting your food across, and getting your little guys some like artillery and some armor. And I just can't plan that. I'm not a strategic planner type person at all. I do enjoy this. It's got little stickers on there that you can move around to different cards. So it is changeable so that it is replayable. I just just suck at it. So that's why it's so low in mine.
All right. All right. So up to my number 7. My number 7 is another one of the small box ones. And like I said, all these are great games. It was very tough to do this. That's Diced Veggies. I
Hmm.
love Diced Veggies, which tells you how great, like how much I love these other games. I think with it just being the smaller box, and there's some strategy to it, and there's some, but there's not a whole lot compared to some of the ones. And I really like this mechanism. I love playing it with Stacey. I love playing it at the board game club at school. Um, but yeah, I mean, I can't say anything bad about the game. It's just when I did my rankings, we did use Pub Meeple to rank these. This is just kind of where it fell. I was a little surprised it was this low, but not surprised at the same time because I really do like this game. It is a lot of fun. That is Diced Veggies.
Okay.
My number 7.
And my number 7 is uh, in the world of Maple Valley, and that is Maple Valley. Now I can't tell you exactly why I ranked this at number 7. For me, there's kind of a lot going on, and it's kind of one of those things where the first time I played it, I kept getting lost. I was tired. I was a little growly. Um, and so I didn't really enjoy it the first time I played it. But then I went back and I played it again and again. And each time I play this game, I like it a little bit more. I forget to move things around in some places. Like if you have a certain number of something, you can put it up on the music and you can collect
Oh
get
yeah.
points for your music or
When you
your
when you get
festival.
certain, they're not called comforts. That's
Yeah,
whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're
I
called
can't
in here.
remember what they're
You get to
called.
put stuff up in your
Your
festival things.
tasks.
Um,
So I forget to do that, and I have to have a little card to remind me the steps for this. And I don't know what it is with me and little cards having to remind me of what to do in a game, but I just don't get along with those kinds of games very well.
player aids are great though.
They are great, don't get me wrong. Without them, I'd be totally lost in a lot of
I
games.
think the thing with this one for you is I think the worker movement and having to plan out like which cards to use when because you only get them back
Yeah.
once you've used them all. I think that's the thing that kind of trips you up is that planning ahead. Like, oh, I want to use water now and I can go that far, but I need to make sure I can use something up there. So can I get up there with something
Yeah.
else? And because there's 3 different types of paths, there's water, woods, and rock.
Swimming.
That'd be water.
Oh,
Water,
swimming, hiking,
woods,
and digging.
well, no, it's
Isn't it?
water, woods, and it's trees and water
Climbing,
and rocks.
swimming, and digging.
Okay, climbing, swimming. Okay, so rocks, water, and trees,
Yeah.
basically the woods. And I think just you having your deck, and it is a little bit of a deck builder.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that whole deck of like, okay, wait, what is the most ideal way to use these for this? Because you don't get your cards back till the next round, and you have to use them in the right way to get to maximize. And
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that
And you have to
trips you up.
purchase your friends.
Yep.
And if the wrong friends come up, then it shakes me up because I want certain
Yeah.
characters in my hand, and if I don't get them, it screws me all up because I plan for things I don't have, and it's fun though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm making it sound horrible, but
No,
it's not.
it's a good game.
It's a good game.
It's very similar to Creature Comforts, except
Mm-hmm.
for the main movement mechanic is
Mm-hmm.
different, and that's just not something Stacy gravitates towards. That planning, like where you're getting like the dice and worker placement works for you better than
Mm-hmm. Very much
that.
so.
My number 6 is Haunt the House.
Ooh.
This is a really fun kind of push your luck, bluffing, memory sort of game that we are absolutely horrible at because what you try and do is you can play your haunts. I like the idea that you're playing as the ghosts trying to
Scare.
spook out the ghost hunters out of the building. Because it's different. Usually, like, oh, I'm trying to trap the ghost. No, you are the ghost. You're trying to scare people. But when you play your scares down, you either do them face up above a room to get an ability on the room, or you do it face down below the room. But you have to remember what you put, and nobody else does. So you have to remember after 4 or 5 turns. Wait, was I bluffing on that one or not? Because you can only yell boo on a room, and win that, and actually like scare the ghost hunter out of the room if the combination of face up, face down, and scares in your hand are what it needs to scare that ghost hunter out. And it's really it's chaos. Like it really is. When we play 2 player, when I play with the kids at school, especially when you're playing with like 3, 4 people, and all of a sudden you've got like 5 rooms, and you're like, what did I do at that room? I don't remember what I did at that room. So it's a really fun game, and I really enjoyed it. I love it. Like I said, it has a little bit of push your luck in it, not a ton, but yeah, you are really trying to like, okay, what did I do? The push your luck really comes in your scaring, but the whole idea of you being a ghost trying to scare the ghost hunters out is really cool to me. So that would be Haunt the House, my number 6.
Okay. My number 6 is one we have just talked about, and that's Haunt
Oh,
the House. And I like this for all the same reasons. It's fun, it's silly, because you can't remember that many cards, because how many houses are there? There's like 5 houses, 3 houses, or
rooms.
rooms.
Well, it depends on how many people you're
True.
playing with. With 2 people, we have 3 rooms. It
Okay.
adds another room every player. So when we play with 4 or 5 at school, you got 5 or 6 rooms out there, and it is.
Yeah, and I can't remember what I had for breakfast today, so I can't remember the cards that I put down 3 minutes ago. I can't remember if I was bluffing, like Ian was saying. I can't remember. Yeah, but it's so fun. And when you think you have it right and you yell boo, and then you turn them over and you realize you were wrong, well, that sucks. and and then you're like, wah wah wah. I thought I had that right. So Haunt the House is fun. It's silly. It's it's a good one, I think, for Halloween.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. All right. My number 5 is one that was provided to us for review from Kids Table Board Gaming, and that is Wreck Raiders.
Hmm.
I really like this game. I think it plays well at 2. I think it would be higher on my list if we played it at 4 or 5 players and you had more of that positive player interaction
Mm.
on these sites. With 2 players, it's pretty easy to kind of avoid giving the other person extra things because you really want something. You can kind of wait until they move someone. If there was 3 or 4 players and you had all those extra divers out there, I think this would be higher on my list because, like I said, you can, for the most part, avoid the positive player interaction. We try not to. Like, we like the positive player interaction, but in a 3, 4, 5 player, there would be no way of avoiding it. You would have to place it down where people would be getting stuff when you place your divers in the dive sites, and you'd be bumping more of them up into the beach, and they'd be getting more stuff in the beach. So I think that's one reason it kind of drops a little bit lower, is some of those really nice aspects of the game kind of dwindle and don't come out quite as much in a 2 player game because it's just really hard to
Hmm.
do it in a 2 player game. But it's a great game, and we love this game. We've done playthroughs for almost all these. So yeah, so that is Wreck Raiders, my number 5. And let me move this one out of the way.
Number 5. Okay.
And now your number 5.
Where is my number 5?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so you just moved my number 5 out of the way.
Oh, I
So
thought you
I'm
talked
going
about
to need
this.
Maki Master back. Oh, Maki Master. Oh, it's right there. I'm sorry. There's too many. So Maki Master is my number 5. The reason that I picked this at number 5 is because I forget about my wasabi. And I forget to put my wasabi. Once I've earned my wasabi,
You forget.
I forget to use it. And I also forget on some of them, once you use a card or take a card, you put wasabi up at the top, and then it builds up on that card. And then when you take that, you're supposed to be able to take that wasabi, and I forget to do
When you
that.
when you do one of the things, you put it up top
Yeah,
after you've placed things. Yeah, because the wasabi's really your
it's
points.
very important. That's
The wasabi's your points.
yes. So I forget to take my wasabi, and so it I forget a lot of things in a lot of games. Apparently, I'm coming to figure that out. That's why I'm losing constantly. Is because I forget. But anyway, Maki Master, I do like it. It has a lot of strategy to it, which again, strategy isn't my forte, but I still enjoy playing it. It's fun. I like it.
All right.
Even at 2 players.
All right. My number 4 is. Let's see. My number 4 is Maple Valley.
Oh.
My number 4 is Maple Valley.
That's a heavy
That
one.
doesn't feel right. That feels like stuff's coming
Something's
out.
coming out.
Something's coming out. So Maple Valley, really good game. I really like this one. Like I said, a lot of the same mechanics as Creature Comforts, as far or a lot of things. You're collecting sets of things. You're collecting other things that kind of bounce off other things. You are working. You're using your friends and your starting character to move around the board. I think that's really unique because sometimes you might be able to move 2 paths, sometimes you move 1. You have to decide where you're going to go so you can collect certain resources. They have 2 different types of resources, which I think is kind of cool. You have your curiosities, which help you with one thing, and then you have your resources, which help you with other things. So I really like that. It's kind of interesting because you can't use both. Like the curiosities help you get friends, I think it is, and then the resources help you build the stuff you need for the festival. But yeah, I really like this one. The artwork in this is gorgeous
It's
as well.
adorable.
The gameplay in this was is great. Yeah, so
I forgot one thing I was going to say about
okay.
Maple Valley.
What?
So one thing I do like about Maple Valley is once you're on a path, let's say you're in the water, you can only take the water path, or you can only take the hiking path. You can't mix and match your paths. So whatever you are on is what you have to do, and then you collect your resources along those paths. So that's a little bit of a unique thing about that game as well that I really like. Oh, that's getting all over the place.
Yeah, we got stuff all over the place.
Ay.
Yes, I'm rearranging as I'm talking because we got some pieces.
Let's go through some cards, shall
No,
we?
no. Here. It'll sit better right now, but
Okay.
I'm gonna have to check that because we got some stuff not
some
in the
cards
right
that are
place.
Jibbity jabbity.
Yeah. All right. So we are done with. Let's see. That was my number 4, Maple Valley. Okay. So we're done with that one. Okay. Your number 4.
Your number 4 is a small box game, and that's Diced Veggies. Now, Diced Veggies is right up my category for one of my favorite games. Not only is this a fun, family friendly game, but it's also created by kids. So that it's got a little bit of learning involved with math. You have to count your dice up. You can't go over 10, right? On your dice, you can only cut up to 10 spots or whatever you call them in gaming. And so, pips, yes.
That's what they're called on dice.
That's what they're called, as pips. And so I do enjoy that aspect of it. And you also kind of sort of not really learn about some recipes and learn about some foods that you've never heard of before. That's one of the things I like about it. And the other thing is that I do enjoy gathering you roll your dice, and then whatever dice come up are the ingredients that you have to get. So I enjoy collecting the ingredients to fulfill the ingredients that I need to get on my cards. Now, a lot of these, I'm deathly allergic to mushrooms. This and Creature Comforts and another one.
There's a lot of games that have mushrooms
that have mushrooms out there. I'll play it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna call it a mushroom. I call it something else. So
I think you call them mushrooms.
I call them stuff. So Dice Veggies, it's a fun, family-friendly game. I really enjoy this game. I think we need to play it more.
Yeah.
But
weeknight game.
Yeah, it's a weeknight game. Yeah. Easy to get out, easy to play, easy to put away.
All right, that was your number 4. My number 3 my number 3 is Maki Master. I really like the tiling aspect of this and trying to figure out where things need to go and figuring out, like, is there a way I can set things up so that I can maybe clear 2 recipes at one time? Now, it doesn't always work because it is inevitable that your opponent is going to have some ability that's going to allow them to move something or stack something or kind of mess up your thing. And I like that. I really like that whole part of it. The whole, like, okay, can I get a 5.1 early in the game? Can I get a big one early so that maybe I can work on small ones later. I really like this, and I really like the solo mode on this one, which is why I think it has moved. It was a little bit higher than some other things. It has a really good solo mode, so that is Maki Master,
Nice.
my number 3.
Okay, my number 3 is right here in front of me. How convenient. And that is, Rec Raiders. Now, I love Rec Raiders. I think we should play it every day. It is that enjoyable. The one thing that I do really, really, really like about it is that you are helping other players. I'm not a take that player by any means. Even in
No,
games that are specifically designed for take that, I still, I
we
just,
we
it's
we
not me.
struggle with that.
Yeah, it's a difficult
If the
thing for
game
me.
has to have take that, we will play it because you have to.
Mm.
It doesn't mean we like that sort
Mm-mm.
of game, but yeah.
Yeah, so the aspect that you're helping other players collect other things and get points is making me happy. The other thing I really like about this is besides, diving down and getting the relics out, you're collecting those relics and putting them on your board, but you are also building an aquarium with different fishies, and you can get an octopus, and you can get all kinds of little critters to put in there. So that is another challenge on its own that you can also work on that can get you a lot of points. So even if you're not doing well at the diving and getting the relics that you're going down to get, you can still do really well on your aquarium. If you the higher it gets, the more points you get, and then if you finish one off, you can start building another one and start building those. So that is why I put it at number 3.
All right. We're down to our top 2, and I'm a little surprised that we have the same 2 games remaining.
Oh,
I am
what order
quite
are we gonna put them
shocked. I'm
in?
quite shocked that we have the same 2 games remaining. My number 2 is Cafe Burst. Um, I'll be honest, when we got this one, I backed Maki Master and I did not add this originally. And then I started hearing more about this game and I'm like, I need to have this game in our collection. And I got in touch with KTBG. I'm like, can you add this to my pledge? Because they hadn't been finalized and mailed out, and they were able to add it to the pledge. And I just, they just billed me for it. So we rather add it. I love this game. This game is so much fun. It's a nice, quick, small game. Like I said, the dual use cards in it are really fun with like, okay, am I going to use this one to help my restaurant for like, is it going to be my coffee or my bubble tea or my or a food or what is it going to be, or am I going to use it to serve a customer to earn money so that I can put more stuff into my cafe, or is it going to be the decor because you have each customer has certain requirements and you get $1 for each requirement you hit. If you hit every requirement on the customer's card when you serve them, they become a regular and you tuck it underneath your starting card. The winner of the game is the game ends when someone gets 4 regulars, I think what it is. But all those regulars need some sort of decor, I believe it is. I think that, well, maybe not.
You have to have the decor
And the 2 other things, I
mm-hmm.
thought, because I thought some of them had 3 other things in it, but yeah. So you have decor, and then some give you some extra like scoring things, like you might score for everything, every drink you have or every tea, whatever it is. I really love this, and I love the use of dual use cards. I really am liking dual use cards in the last couple of years, and when I can get games with them played. So Cafe Bears is my number 2.
Ooh, and my number 2 is a game about a capybaras who opens a cafe and is trying to get regular customers to come in. Look at that. It's right here, Cafe Barris. And I do. I love that game. I really do. They've got this 70s decor going on. It's got this retro decor going on that you're trying to get. And then you have special rooms that you can also get, or a comfy chair that you can try to get to put into your cafe. So there's different things that you can do to make it different gameplay for everybody. I really like this one. I like that it's not just coffee. I know this is like not like a mute point to some people, but I hate coffee, and
We both don't like coffee. The
I
smell of
drink
it, the taste of
tea.
it.
Yes, and
Tea,
so
tea
I
is our
like
thing.
that they included teas in this game as well. So number two, Cafe Barris. I love it. The only thing that confuses me is the dual use cards, which is what Ian really likes about this. With the dual use cards, one if I play it just one time, they confuse me because I forget what is what on the card. But then after I play it the second time, then I can usually start to figure it out. But if we go a long period of time not playing it and then go back, and then it screws me up again. So me and dual use cards, we're not friends. We're frenemies, I think. And ugh, one day I will be able to conquer the dual use card.
Oh, all right. Well, then I guess it is absolutely no surprise what both of our number ones, Creature Comforts. Like I said when we were talking about the games, this is the game that brought us into the KTBG line of games. This is still my favorite KTBG game. This is probably this is one of my when we actually do rankings, this will be in my top 20, if not my top 10 overall. I think the use of and the thing that it is about it is those family dice versus the village dice. And at the core, it's a worker placement game, dice placement game. But the fact that you have two family dice, you roll those, and then you have to place your four workers out on spots, hoping that the other four dice will allow you to actually use those spots and get those resources. But if they don't, you've learned a lesson. So you can get a lesson learned, which gives you something that allows you to add or subtract one from a dice for your turn. And then you're trying to get resources out of the valley and the forest, and you're trying to get comforts from the owl's nest, and you have visitors that are coming that help you out a little bit, and then you're trying to get improvements so you can improve your stuff. You can get things like a bicycle, where after you roll a dice, you can move one of your workers. Or you can get a wheelbarrow, which allows you to get an extra resource. Everything about this game, I absolutely love. And like I said, at the core, it's that dice worker placement where you roll two dice, you have to place all four workers, then somebody, whoever's first player, rolls the other four dice. And only at that point do you know if you place your workers in a good spot or not. So, Creature Comforts, my number one game from KTBG.
And that's no surprise that Creature Comforts is also my number one. I think this is the first worker placement game I played, and
Very well could be.
I think it was. And I really enjoyed it the very first time that I played it. It just is, it's cute, which you know me, if you've watched our videos, if it has animals in it, I pretty much am going to already like it just by the cover. It's got a good theme to it. I'm from Montana. We harvest, we gather, we get our fields ready for the following season. So that really hit with me. Just everything about this game just hit with me. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy everything about it. Even when you're getting ready to score, if you have, let's say, you have in Canada they call it a muffler. Here we call it a
Scarf.
scarf. Thank you. And if you have the scarf and snow skates, or
Whatever it is, the
whatever,
jacket, whatever, the socks
snow
and the skates,
skis.
Scots and the socks and the skates. I think it
Yes,
is.
I think it is. And you earn extra points, that way at the game end. So there's different other combinations that you can get for scoring as well. So you don't know who the winner is until you add up everything
Yeah.
and get everything done. And I love that about games, is not knowing the score until the very end. Ian hates it. I like it. It's enjoyable for me. So, um, for those reasons and many, many more is the reason I chose Creature Comforts for my number one
Yeah.
KTBG game.
Yeah, and like Stacey said, the different cards that kind of synergize with each other to give you some extra points. You can also get cards where you score based on what your opponent does. So like you may have a card that scores based on every food item in the other person has. Or you have some cards where like you can store extra things. So like if you have a full set of all of the resources in your pantry, you get some extra points. Or on your bookshelf, if you have two books, you get extra points. The other thing that I don't think either was mentioned yet was the way the seasons work, where you have three rounds of spring, three of summer, and two of fall. And there's something that's not available every season. And it makes sense because that would not be available that season. So, like, one of them, mushrooms, isn't available. One of them, yarn, isn't available. And one of them, apples isn't available. Wood is always available. So it makes sense that those things aren't available because they wouldn't be there during that season. So I really like that whole aspect of like, I really need these. Well, it's not available. How can I get it? Is there a way I can get it before these 3 rounds are up? Or is this card going to be one that, I'm just going to get rid of it because I don't want to sit and hold on to it for 3 rounds before I can actually get it, or 6 rounds before I can actually get it. Now, there are some things that are available in the river area, and there are some other ways you might be able to get things with your visitors. Maybe sometimes you go, oh, this visitor has this thing that's not available. I need to put a dice there, or I need to put a worker there because I need to be able to get an apple and it's not available right now. So, yeah, everything about creature comforts, absolutely love.
And you can trade things in. There's parts of the board where you can actually trade, let's say, 2 apples for a mushroom if you're needing something. So you can kind of plan it. I mean, it's just a winner.
This game is just, and if you are going to get this game, I highly recommend getting the insert, whether you have the deluxe or non-deluxe. The insert makes setup so much easier. I have this game at my board game club, one that I purchased for my board game club, and it was the standard version. And then KTBG was so gracious when they sent us Rec Raiders for review. They sent us the insert for my board game club because it was just like 20 bags, and it was just so hard to get stuff. Now it is so much easier to set up there for the kids and to be able to play and stuff. So yes, I highly recommend at least getting the insert. The insert cuts the setup time down immensely, and because you don't have time. and put away, because a lot of stuff is just in the insert. All right, well, there are the games. Let me grab these back up. Yes, I forgot we need to talk about the overall rankings. So let me grab these back off the floor here.
Oh, goodness.
I guess Fossils or Power Plants will not be ranked overall because Stacey hasn't played that one yet. All right, so we actually have a tie. We have several ties because we place things in the exact same opposite order multiple times. So the first tie is actually for 8th overall, so the 8th and 9th best, and it's because I had one of them so it is Food Fighters and Fossilists. So I had Fossilists at 8 if you take out Power Plants. Stacey had a 9. Stacey had Food Fighters at 8. I had that at 9 if you take out Power Plants, which we are doing for the overall ranking. So that is tied for 8th overall. Fossilists and Food Fighters. All right. Next is Haunt the House at number 7.
It's upside down.
It is upside down. All right, Haunt the House at number 7. I had Haunt the House at 6. Stacey also had Haunt the House at 6. So even though we both had this at 6, this ends up at number 7 due to some other games being slightly higher than some other things. So this was our number 7 overall game.
I like that game.
And the next tie is for 5th and 6th. And it is, let's see, what do we got here? So Diced Veggies and Maple Valley. I had Maple Valley at 4, and Stacey had it at 7. Stacey had Diced Veggies at 4, and Maple Valley at 7. So we had these at 4 and 7, just flopped. So we've got one more of those coming up. So these were in the same spots, just flopped for each other. So they just barely snug ahead of Haunt the House overall. So this was tied for number 5 overall. And the next one is also the next tie. And this was...
Oh my. 2 biggins.
Rec Raiders and Maki Master. So I had Maki Master at 3 and Stacey had it at 5. Stacey had Rec Raiders at 3 and I had it at 5. So like I said, they weren't even like tied with weird numbers. They were the exact same opposites as each other on the boards. So that is Maki Master and Rec Raiders tied for number 3 overall. Well, and number 2 and number 1 are not surprising because we had the exact same. I know you're still hurting, so you can hold on. Okay, number 2 is Cafe Barracks. We both had it at number 2, so it's number 2. And number 1 is Creature Comforts. It was both of our number 1s. It was number 1 overall. So there you have it. There is how we ranked our kids' table board gaming games. Yeah, so let us know if you have played any of these and which ones you've played and how you would rank them. Put it in the comments, please. Let us know what your rankings of KTBG games are. I think it's going to be most likely quite different than ours. I know some of the ones we have a little bit lower, a lot of people are really high on, so we'll see. Let us know if you're interested in any of these as well. And we do have playthroughs for, I think, almost all of them on the channel, if not all of them, other than Haunt the House, which we may have done. I don't know. I don't think we actually did a playthrough of that. So yeah, and we're looking forward to
Lairs.
Lairs is the one. End of the year. End of the year is supposed to be coming out along with they also that Nanatori Dori, the card game that they brought over from Japan. From it was previously released. I don't remember who the original people, but KTBG has signed a couple games recently that they're bringing over from Japan. So it's really nice to kind of see that. So excited for that little card game as well. Looks like a little fun game. And then we know that Creature Comforts River Market's probably going to hit. I'm going to guess it's going to hit crowdfunding here soon. I know they're at Gen Con right now. I know they're showing it off right now. So I know that the prototypes are like there. So I'm expecting that one. Hopefully like before the end of the year to be hitting Kickstarter or whatever crowdfunding they're going to use. But yeah, so like I said, let us know what you think about these games.
And KTBG is the only gaming company that I follow on Facebook. And what? And today they posted some pictures of their Gen Con table that did have some sneak peeks of their upcoming games.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited.
Yeah, very excited. You can tell this is one of our top companies for sure. This is one of our top companies. So there you have it, everyone. There is our rankings for kids table board gaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe as always. It really does help the channel. And once again, this has been Where There's a Wheels.
There's a play.
I'm Ian.
I'm Stacey.
And we'll see you next time
At the table.